The 2011-2012 UAE National Race Day season was a huge challenge for the Gulf Petrochem racing team and their two drivers Kostas Papantonis and Alexandros Anivas. The team spent the off-season preparing and testing two new cars for the Total UAE Touring Car Series, their Class 1 Seat Super Copa and the Class 2 Renault Clio, which Anivas would also be racing in the UAE Renault Clio Cup Series.
Basically the classes that I like to race is single make series, which everything needs to be the same, although you are allowed to play with tire pressures and setup of the car. So you have, let's say, a range where you are allowed to play within.
The 2011-2012 championship was never going to be an easy ride. Last year's champion, Khalid bin Hadda, dropped out of Class 1 to race in the Renault Clios. So what may have been good news for Kostas was bad news for Alex. For the first round, Class 1 saw 7 cars line up on the grid, including 3 other Seats driven by Mohamed Al-Awais, Nadir Zahour and Ramzi Moutran, as well as Martin Johnson in his Vauxhall Astra. Meanwhile, Alex would be up against Khalid bin Hadda and Sami Moutran in the Renault Clios, all very experienced drivers. Having qualified at the head of the Renault Clio pack, Alex battled the whole of race 1 with Khalid bin Hadda, with the Emirati just coming out on top. But the Greek driver wasn't giving in, and after another bumper-to-bumper race, he crossed the line first in class in race 2, having pulled ahead of several other of the Class 2 racers.
Khalid as well, he's a title contender. We saw that he's very aggressive, he wants to win one way or the other, and I think it's gonna be long season, very long season for all of us.
Meanwhile, the battle in Class 1 wasn't going to be won on this occasion by Kostas, and try as he might, he could only finish just outside the top 3 in both races. But it was early days, and now both drivers knew what they would be up against throughout the season. Round 2 would throw up mixed fortunes for the team, with both drivers experiencing the highs and lows of racing. For Alex in the Renault Clio, despite qualifying 4th in class, he fought his way through the field to cross the line in 2nd place behind Khalid bin Hadda, his first podium of the season. But this was to be followed by disappointment in race 2, exactly the result he didn't need. Meanwhile, for father-in-law Kostas in Class 1, he too had an exceptional first race, finishing in 2nd place overall behind Nadir Zahour. He repeated this stunning performance in race 2, but the celebrations were to be short-lived. Following a data logging issue with the car, the Greek veteran was excluded from the results. Kostas also had problems 2 weeks later. After contesting the lead with Mohamed Al-Awais, he dropped down the field with an electrical problem. But just a few hours later, he was back out on track and swapping paintwork with Martin Johnson for 3rd place, with Kostas eventually coming out on top and taking the 3rd step on the podium. Meanwhile, not far behind, and Alex was tussling with Jonathan Mullen in the Honda Civic. Race 1 saw him unable to challenge the fellow Clio driver Khalid bin Hadda, but then in just his 6th race of the season, Alex took the win in race 2. The first race weekend of the season at the Yas Marina circuit in December allowed the Gulf Petrochem team to really show their potential. After getting off the line in 3rd place, Kostas held his position until halfway through the race, at which point he decided to put his foot down. He quickly got the pass on Nadir Zahour for 2nd place and began chasing down Mohamed Al-Awais in the lead. Then, in the closing stages of the race, Kostas stuck his nose ahead of Al-Awais and squeezed past for the lead and the checkered flag.
It was brilliant. I mean, we finished first, so we are very happy. Everything went very well. We had a very good start, and that was the starting point of this win.
Meanwhile, further down the track, and Alex was battling with Nabil Moutran, who was leading the class. The Greek driver kept the pressure on in the hope of forcing an error from Moutran. Then on the very last lap, Alex got by the British driver to take his 2nd win of the season. Race 2 was almost a carbon copy for Alex, as he once again took the win from Nabil Moutran to strengthen his championship campaign. However, in Class 1, Costas couldn't repeat his victory earlier in the day. The slow start off the line saw him having to pass some Class 2 cars before he could get back into the race. But as the checkered flag came out, he could only manage a third-place finish. But at least now the team knew they were racing two very strong and potentially championship-winning cars. After the winter break, the Gulf Petrochem team once again returned to Yas Marina for round 5 of the season. In Class 1, Costas once again proved that he was more than capable of winning, and in Race 1 he flew past Nadia Zahur, who had been on pole position, and then led for the remainder of the race, crossing the line some 20 seconds ahead of the pack. Race 2 wasn't to prove as fortunate though, as a mild mechanical problem with the car meant that the Seat only crossed the line in 2nd place. It wasn't such a positive weekend for Alex in the Renault Clio. Despite fighting hard for position in both races, he came away from the weekend with just one podium finish. The next outing for the UE touring cars was round 6 back at the Dubai Autodrome, and there was action and controversy from the start of Race 1. While Costas and Nadia Zahura got off to a flying start at the head of the field, further down the pack, Alex was involved in a tussle with fellow Renault Clio driver Willie Morrison, which resulted in the Scotsman's car spinning out and being written off. While no one was hurt and the race was restarted, it did mean that Alex was out and would lose vital championship points. Meanwhile, the weekend could not have gone better for Costas in the Class 1 Seat. A great battle up front saw him competing with Nadia Zahur in both races, but it was the Greek veteran who took the checkered flag on both occasions, giving his championship campaign a huge boost. With everything to play for in both classes, Alex and Costas returned to the Yas Marina circuit in March for the penultimate round of the Touring Car Championship. Both drivers knew that they had to come away from the weekend with a solid points finish to be in with a chance of taking home the silverware at the end of the season. For Alex, this weekend would be a challenge of his level-headedness. Just 2 Renault Clios were racing, the other driver being Alex's older brother, Konstantinos. So would Alex let sibling rivalry get the better of him and risk breaking the car, or would he allow himself to be beaten and look after the car for the final round? As the race got underway, it looked like the temptation of racing was too great, and Alex immediately began chasing Konstantinos. But try as he might, he simply couldn't find a way past his older brother, so had to settle for 2nd place in class in Race 1. In Class 1, Costas was having a real battle for 2nd place with Mohamed Al-Awais, just behind Nadia Zahur in the lead. This bumper-to-bumper tussle continued throughout the race until the closing stages, when contact between the two cars caused Al-Awais to retire after 12 laps. Then just 1 lap later, Costas also pulled into the pits and was out of the race with a puncture, exactly the result he didn't need. This put incredible pressure on the Greek driver to pull out a win in Race 2 in order to keep his championship hopes alive. But as the race got underway, it was Zahur who once again hit the front of the field, while Al-Awais and Costas were once again thrashing it out for 2nd place. Unfortunately, there was going to be no miracle finish this time out, as a mechanical problem with the car caused Costas to front-end the Armco at turn 4, and that was game over for the day. Meanwhile, the other Gulf Petrochem car, driven by Alex, was also going to struggle in Race 2, thanks to mechanical issues. At one point, while again chasing his brother Konstantinos, Alex pulled into the pits with serious gearbox problems, but was sent out again and told to limp to the end to secure as many points as possible. Fortunately, when the checkered flag dropped, Alex had done enough to secure the inaugural Renault Clio Cup Championship trophy with just 2 races to go.
It was the longest race of my life ever. Having to start from the 2nd corner, 1st lap, I lost my diff, gears, everything. It went into mass. I came inside the pit lane, the team just advised, keep on running until it seizes.
And so on to the final round at Dubai Autodrome, where double points would be up for grabs. And with just 19 points separating Costas from the championship leader Nadia Zahur, there really was everything to play for. As the lights went out, the 2 lead Seats immediately got down to business and hounded each other for the lead. But it was Costas who eventually moved ahead and was looking pretty certain to take the win. then once again a mechanical gremlin forced him to slow down in the closing stages, giving Nadir Zahor back the lead. And as Costas crossed the finish line, he saw his championship hopes disappear.
The actual problem is that the gearbox, it wouldn't take the gears. So basically I had a dead gearbox. It's not something that we can fix. It's overheating. So I don't know what will happen. There's no plan. You cannot make any plan.
But for their first season of racing two cars, the Gulf Petrochem racing team have to be pretty pleased with their result. The first in the Renault Clio Cup Championship.
I wish for next year to be again a Clio Cup class, more drivers, more competition, and to be a good season as well.
And a second in Class 1 of the UAE Touring Car Championship.
We have some technical issues. I hope we will sort it out and we will come back stronger. Number one, I want to thank my sponsors, which is Gulf Petrochem. We couldn't manage without them. And they are great supporters, not only financially, but they were here each and every race, and they were clapping for us and they were screaming for us.
And of course, they get to keep the trophies in the family.